Continuing the theme of past Disney animation, this video's focus is 1994 to 1997's animated fantasy series Gargoyles. After 1,000 years, the nocturnal magical protectors of a medieval Scottish castle are reawakened in contemporary New York. Amidst fantastical perilous adventures, they form an alliance with resourceful, determined, assertive, cautious, moral detective Elisa Maza, an animosity with affable Machiavellian genius combatant David Xanatos, and encounter several reminders of their past. Naturally, the gargoyles live at nighttime and turn to stone during daytime, just like real-life gargoyles. The premise's complexities are fully weaponized as a deeply intricate, unpredictable, interconnected narrative unfolds through patience, historic interest, faithfully incorporated British, Irish, African, Japanese and Greek mythology, resonant conflict, psychologically motivated cyberpunk tendencies, considered moral teachings, and tragic misunderstandings, alongside honest representation of corruption and prejudice, all of which are presented through balanced, effective degrees of darkness and theatricality that offers synchronized, natural and sparing levity. This combination results in an extremely realized identity. The gothic, regal, medieval world, and the high-tech, realistic, crime-ridden modern city, providing controllably contrasted forms of jeopardy. Disney's involvement is heavily reflected in the fluid artwork, rich colours, shading, realistic semi-accentuated body types and facial features, versatile creature designs, and textured Art Deco-influenced locations. A detailed art style that reflects detailed characterization. The titular gargoyles are provided with clear individual traits while all displaying personalized varying levels of vulnerability, insight, patience, frustration and intimidating formidability. This approach applies to some major villains, many of whom show anger, intelligence, determination, turmoil and surprising hidden compassion, particularly in rogues such as the wrathful Demona, the manipulative Fox and the Valiant Macbeth, the last of whom's appearance is an indication of the show's tendency to occasionally incorporate modified Shakespearean plots and references. These nuances are furthered by the strong cast. That includes Bill Fagerbakke showing surprising range before his role as Patrick in SpongeBob SquarePants turned him into a star. The show's refined atmosphere is amplified by a hauntingly somber, classically influenced score provided by Carl Johnson. And in spite of its grand imaginative storytelling and majestic presentation that earned accurate, complimentary comparisons to Batman the Animated Series, Gargoyles was not entirely free of faults. A certain storyline in Season 2 was problematically paced. Its excessive length resulted in several important cast members, unfortunately suffering a long absence. A fault made tolerable by the high-quality developments this storyline offered, and the eventual move-in reunion of all chief cast members. Producer Greg Wiseman openly acknowledged this flawed creative choice, thus proving he is indeed a wise man. Though when the show was commissioned and he either agreed to or suggested this storyline, he presumably went by a different name, such as Greg Foolishman. The fantastical characters and absence of gore and profanity offered child-targeted marketing opportunities. However, with its sinister themes and serialized structure, as well as political subtext and broad, considered continuity, the show is equally, if not more suitable for adult audiences. Any adult gargoyles interested in discovering if the show is a fair representation of their kind is advised to begin watching it early nighttime. That way you avoid missing key episodes due to turning back to stone at sunrise. I was so firmly engrossed during my recent first viewing that I got this personalised mug, although when I get a drink really late at night, the sun soon comes up and I turn into stone. The amount of coffee I've wasted. Speculations of a live-action film from Jordan Peele have arisen, and while potentially interesting, any remake is totally unnecessary, given this timeless series offered little room for improvement. A sufficient method of introducing the show to a new audience would be by introducing the show to a new audience in 2020, where superstition and the sword rules. Though a musical adaptation could flourish on Broadway, as in the theatre district, not the gargoyle called Broadway, it'd probably attract a lot of attention from Brooklyn, as in the New York borough, not the gargoyle called Brooklyn. It could be a financial Goliath, as in a huge success, not the gargoyle called Goliath. Gargoyles is among the most uncompromising, sophisticated, profound, emotional, and gripping animated series of all time, and with every episode available on Disney+, it's highly recommended to anyone interested in family-friendly, yet deeply mature shows. Thanks for watching my video on Gargoyles, and if I don't see you next time, I'll assume it's daytime and you're resting under your stone form until sunset. I know I will be. We are gargoyles and we rise in the night. We can glide, but It looks like taking flight. Small excerpt from Gargoyles the Musical there. An outdoor theatre experience located near the Hudson, the river, not the gargoyle called Hudson.